let's start the process. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Google Cloud Platform workshop that Roopesh is going to run for us. Roopesh actually is data scientist at CeADAR and helping us in the Lighthouse project, leading the Graph Convolutional Network project. He is going to run this workshop for us to introduce the Google Cloud Platform, all the tips and tricks on how to create a virtual machine, how to select the most appropriate one for our task, and also how to connect it to Colab. So it should be a lot of interesting materials in the next 1.5 hours. At some stages, Roopesh can give you some time to do a little bit of hands-on stuff to register and do the same thing. So prepare yourself to do something. Meantime, I will try to give everybody access to talk, etc. So whenever you have any question, you can raise your hand, you can put into the chat, you can open up your mic, etc. And you can start asking your question and making your comments. Okay, I'll keep being quiet and leave it to Roopesh to start the workshop, and I hope everyone will enjoy the workshop. Thank you, Roopesh.
Yeah. So hello everyone. So this is Roopesh here. So I'm working as a data scientist. I'm a part of Lighthouse Project Season 2. I'm working with Aliza. So now today we're going to discuss about the GCP. So it's a Google Cloud Platform. So I'm going to give you like a brief introduction about what's a cloud platform and detail about a brief overview of GCP and everything. And at last, we're going to have a hands-on session like how to use a VM and how do we need to connect it, and how going to use like a Protex AI in like a GCP, and basically like how going to we utilize the free credits which we have. Yeah. So let's move on. Yeah. So this is our agenda today. So we're going to discuss about what's the cloud computing and what are like the topics which we're going to cover in GCP, and that's getting started with the GCP, how we gonna sign up, and how gonna we utilize the credits and everything. And next is like we're going to discuss about the computing services, and it has like some cloud engines, VMs, and Kubernetes engines as well. And next we're going to discuss about the data storages and databases, and we're going to talk about a networking part where like we'll be using like a virtual private clouds and everything. And later on we're going to discuss about how do we going to monitor each and every resources effectively. And there are like a couple of integration tools available, say for example BigQuery and AI tools are also there. And finally we're going to have like a complete hands-on session, and we have a Q&A session as well. So let's get started. Yeah. So what's basically a cloud computing? So we all know that a cloud computing is a place where we can utilize every services in a remote way. So it's basically on-demand services where we'll be like using different organizations which we know. One is like a Google Cloud Platform, one will be like AWS, and another is like Azure, and we have like a IBM as well. So basically they are like a shared and dynamically allocated computer resources where we can utilize each and every resources which they have, such as like a VMs or databases and everything which we can utilize that. And one more thing is like we don't need to physically install those devices in our local engine, and that's the main thing which is cloud computing, and we can utilize everything in a remote services. So by this, what's the benefit we're going to get is like a cost saving. So and because like in a big organization they need to like invest a lot in infrastructures where we need to install like a lot of like cloud servers and services and everything. So each and every server costs like minimum of like 100,000 euros to up to millions of euros. And one more thing, like the cloud storages require like a lot of space, and it requires a lot of electricity, and it requires like a temperature, the cooling temperatures. So that's how a lot of Google or like a data centers or cloud services are located near to a ocean or under ocean. And it's moreover, it is scalable, and we can expand it in a no time. The whatever the data which we increases in sudden increase, we can utilize that. And moreover, it is like a very high secure. So in a local way, we need to have a lot of security features which we need to enable it. But the cloud services providing people, they give us with a lot of SSH tunnelings and much more advanced features and securities. And it is like a reliable and high availability. So reliable and high availability in the sense like we don't need to think about that there will be a sudden failure of our infrastructure or not, and we don't need to think about like what's going to happen next, and do we get like throughput more or not. So when there is like a high peak or load, automatically these infrastructures will scale up by itself when there's like a sudden peak up in throughput and everything latencies. So that's the basic overview of a cloud computing. So let's get on to like a GCP. So this is a basic overview of a GCP you're gonna give. So GCP is one of the biggest cloud service provider which we currently are having, and they have like a wide services ranges right from like our integration, pipeline management till the deployment and exposing to an endpoint. They are managing each and everything, and entirely these are in a very high secured area, and it has like a many integration tools in it, such as like a big data, machine learning, and much more integrated tools such as like the VPNs, the network security providers, and a couple more like data analytics tools, cognitive tools, text to speech, speech to text, and much more available in GCP. And you guys know that like there are like a couple of competitors there with GCP. So one of the competitor is like Azure, and another biggest competitor is AWS. Right now, out of these three, the Google Cloud Platform has like a more number of users, because each Google has their like largest services available right now, and next is like AWS, which they also have the largest number of servers, and mostly they use us like for databases and everything. And finally, we have like Azure as well. So Azure right now, they are in a phase of building up and each and everything. And in our next session, we're going to discuss about what's the difference between each and everything. And we will be using a hands-on session of Azure as well, and AWS as well. So this is like a basic overview of GCP platform, where we have like a compute engines, where compute engines is nothing but it has like a virtual machines in them, and cloud storages where it has like a SQL databases, which is available right now. And it also has like a Kubernetes engines and app engines. And moreover, it has like a BigQueries, API integration. And one of the biggest thing they have is like Protux AI. So Protux AI is like our Jupyter notebook is which is running inside a complete dashboard. So the dashboard is known as like Protux AI, and it is a part of one of the important part of AI ML tool in GCP. So now let's talk about the products available in GCP. So one of the important product or like a compute services. So in compute services, we have like a three major things in it. So one will be like a Google Cloud Engine. So where is it is called like a virtual machines, and next is like Kubernetes engines, where we will be monitoring and maintaining the Kubernetes clusters and like containers and everything. And third one is like app engines, where we'll be monitoring the serverless platforms and everything. This is the important thing. And next one, we will be discussing about the networks, where we will be discussing about a virtual private cloud. And we'll be talking about a load balancing system, where it has like auto upscaling and downscaling. And we'll be talking about Google Cloud Delivery Network. And we're going to talk about social storage and databases. So in Google GCP, we have like a couple of storages. So one is like a Google Cloud Storage or object storage. So if you guys have used like Azure, it has like a blob storage. So that is similar to Google's Cloud Storage, which we use in object storage. So next one is like a Cloud SQL, and it is like a manager relation database, which we use. And Google Firestore is like a serverless NoSQL database management system, which we can use. And finally, I'm going to talk about our core content, which is our big data and machine learning. So in big data and machine learning, I already told about like an AI platform tool, which is a Protux AI. So it is one of the most important tool, which is currently used by millions of people around the world. So It is, as I said earlier, it's a Jupyter Notebook dashboard, and we can integrate the dashboard with like our storage databases and NoSQL databases, as well as like VMs as well. And we have like important thing is like a BigQuery. So it's one of the world's biggest management data place, where it is like completely serverless, and it is used by millions of people around the world. And next one is like important thing is a cloud data flow. It is also like a serverless data processing system, where it is used for like integration of each and every tools with Protex AI and couple more DBs as well. So now we're going to start about how to use our GCP platform. Guys, like now this is the place where you guys need to use your own devices, and you need to follow the steps and everything. So may I ask you everyone to like use your Google right now? So guys, hope you have started with the Google GCP. So in mainly like what you're going to do is right now is like you're going to utilize your Google platform, and next step is you're going to register with your like UCD email or your student email. And once you start registering, and you need to follow the one of step 1 of 3 account information, where you will be providing your name and everything. And then at next step you will be providing your like a place where you're living right now. And finally you're gonna utilize your debit card for this to put a transaction, but you guys will not be charged for that. But it's going to be like some €1 or something like that. It will be automatically refunded within a seconds of that, and then you will be getting like a €400 credits you can utilize for our next hands-on session. So I'll be giving you like another 5 to 10 minutes for that, so you can set up and you can ask me some questions as well. Yeah.
Guys, your microphone is open. Actually, you have access you have the permission to speak. So if you have any question or faced anything like that, any problem like that, please let us know. Also, you can raise your hand if you want.
Guys, please let me know like if you face any issues. So let me also go give you like short way how to do it. So now this is your page where you're gonna land, and you're just gonna select your country. So after that, just you're gonna do a launch. So now we're gonna put like based on a company and everything. Just fill in your address and details of this. And finally, you're gonna put in your card details, and then you're gonna start your free trial. Once you start your free trial, next page will be showing you about this information. So where it shows like the Google Cloud Console, and where you can notice each and every services which is available right now. So just give me a shout, like if you're all in the same page. Guys, please put me a chat that you are in a dashboard so that we can continue. It would be good, like if everyone post the same in chat. Guys, sorry that we need to provide a payment method, and after that only we can proceed forward. So we require a debit card or credit card information. So it's gonna be like they're gonna charge you like €1, and immediately within a second you're gonna refund it back. It's just for like a verification if you're not, if you're human or robot. That's all.
Rupesh, if you are following the Q&A session, they are providing you with the comments and updates.
Yeah, I am noting it down. Yeah. So, okay, guys, now let me give a brief explanation about each and every products right now available. And people who haven't yet to register, please do register. So it is which is important for in a later stages. Yeah. So let's talk about like the GCP compute services. We all know that GCP has like a couple of services. So on the brief thing which we're going to discuss about like compute engines, Kubernetes engines, and app engines. So compute engines which has like a VMs, and Kubernetes engines where it monitors and manages the Kubernetes clusters and containers, and app engine which manages serverless entire platform. So let's talk about compute engine. So in a GCP, we have like different levels of virtual machines which is available based upon the complete hardware configuration which we can set by ourselves. So say for example, like CPUs to GPUs to TPUs, we can optimize and select based on our purposes and everything. So moreover, it offers like a flexibility, scalability, and it is entirely control over your computer resources. So biggest benefit of like a GCP is, so it scales VMs based on is that its demand. So say for example, like if we suddenly we have like a high throughput or anything, so it automatically scales up our VM, and it manages like similarly likewise to low scale up everything. So we can choose our own hardware types. So as I said, like we can choose like multiple options with the combination of CPUs and GPUs, or CPUs and TPUs. And we can select a different storages which is available. Say, for example, from a HDD to SSD or anything which we can select. And next is like, how do we gonna connect those VM? Say, for example, do we need like a secure tunneling like SSH, or like if you guys know about like Azure, it has like RDP, remote desktop protocol, to connect VM like that. Or what's the exact way to connect with? Are we going to connect with the bash or with the IP address or everything? So each and everything will be discussed here, and it's very easy compared to other cloud service providers when connecting to a VM. So what's the Kubernetes clusters? So basically, Kubernetes is a container which manages and each and every services which we have deployed. And it provides like a more of like a robust and scalable platform for our running entire loads. So loads in a sense, like we have like a multiple projects within a same container. Say for example, we'll be having our Jupyter notebook running, and we'll be having our databases, no queries, which is entire application is running in a single container in a cluster. So based upon our demand, this scalability will be increased, and it automatically scales up. And moreover, it so whenever we have a cluster, we need to check the health condition of the clusters. So is it like the entire pods is used like to its maximum, or what is the exact health condition of that? So it is a major stuff which you need to notify when we or deal with that Kubernetes clusters. And the main benefit is like in GCP is like it's like a simplified operations. So like you can easily manage and update the container applications and everything. And but the similarly, if you want to manage with like Azure or AWS, it is like a somewhat bit difficult for us to manage. And Azure is a place where it's like they are like building up each and everything. And one more thing is like we have like automatic load balancing and clustering, which is happening in our GCP. And because of the resources effectively managed, we can use this maximum utilization of load balancing algorithms and everything in this. So next we will be talking about the App Engine. So App Engine is a platform which is used for like a platform as a service on a GCP, and it allows us to use and build and deploy web applications without managing or any infrastructure. We don't need to worry about like what's the it's gonna container or not, where we need to install, where we need to deploy and everything. So entire infrastructure management is taken care of our App Engine. So it is basically a serverless architecture which is focusing on no code environment. And it is a managed environment where like Google handles infrastructure management with a different security level of breaches and patches. And one more thing is like we can use a multiple languages in our App Engine. So it is not restricted only to like a Python development or like a Java development. It has like a multiple languages, say for example PHP, JS, HTML, even like like Kafka, like cipher queries and everything which we can utilize in this. So next we're going to talk about the basics of like a VM. So let me share my screen to like our GCP platform. So this is our like dashboard. So we have our different levels of products which we have. So this is like our billing informations and everything. So down we have like a compute engine. So it's called as a compute. So where we have like a VMs and Kubernetes engines, and it has like a multi-cloud platform in it. And next is like a storage. So it has like a any NoSQL storage and fire store it has. So now let's just kick on with our compute engine. So this is the place where we can create our VM instance. So now our important thing we're gonna do is like we're gonna give the naming of that VM, and we're gonna select what is that the region which gonna choose. So one thing with the region is like based on our region, so our cost and everything will be like segregated. Say for certain type of regions, our GPU will not be available, and some type of regions where like Eastern or European, some TPUs will be very rarely available. So based on our requirement specification, we need to use and manage this VM very effectively. So as I said earlier, now we have like a different varieties of VMs here. So it's general purpose. So in general purpose, we have like a N series, E series, and T2D series we have. And the next one is like optimized series. So where it uses like a highest performance, and it gives like a intensive workloads and everything. So it has like a C series basically. And next one is like a memory optimized. So memory optimized is like it requires a high memory to like CPUs, like a high read in and out operations for databases and everything, which requires this type of operations. So next type is like a GPUs. So GPUs, you guys know that like if you're gonna use like some high level of computer vision or like NLP or language models, so we definitely need to use a GPUs and everything. So in so GPU, there are different types of NVIDIA, like these are like services. So T4 is the one of like the good one, and a Tesla P4 is like a very nice one you can utilize. So now let me start creating it. So let me go with like a general purpose one. So so here we can select what is different types of the machines which you guys need. Like say for example, like one GB of RAM, or like micro CPU something utilization, or like 4-core CPUs or 16 GB RAMs, or based on your exact specification. Say let me gonna select yeah 8 GB RAM. So basically it cost us like around 56 per month, and it's nearly like 0.08 cents for us for an hour. And it will be asking us to display the device and name and everything. So we're gonna do it as market, and then we're gonna enable our computing here. So this is our like our detailed information of our boot disk. So we're gonna select traffic. So now we have increased to 97. So why it's let's fine. So let's create it. Guys, please follow the same you're doing. Okay, so that if you have any questions, you can just ask me. It will take some couple of minutes. Yeah, we have. So now we are connected to a HHS shuttling tunnel. So we need to authorize it. Guys, if you can put me a yes or no in a Q&A, so that let me know that you guys are on the same page. Yeah, a couple of guys asked me like a recap of the entire step. So let me go back again. So let me cancel this. So if you cancel the SSH tunnel, so it'll be like a timeout and you can't go back or front. So let's go to VM. So let me delete the VM. So I can gonna give you like a from fresh again. So region, someone asked me like what's the region we need to put. So it's completely based on your choice. So what is the type of machine you're gonna utilize? So I'm gonna use general purpose one. So I have used Las Vegas and US West region. So it is a default one. So if you guys want to change it to some other like memory optimized or anything, so it's M series. So let me take Intel's Ice Lake CPU. Oops. So it's like $11,000. Nice. So let's continue with this. I think if I utilize this $11,000 within a couple of hours, it will be getting drained. So let me change it. Yep. So this is the basic step. So we're gonna enable the display name, enable the confidence. So it's like a API access. It's like a default one. So please don't change that. So allow HTTP traffic or HTTPS. It's a secure one, and just create. Yep. So what is the error which I'm getting is like I have utilized the maximum quota for that specific region. So that means like so based on like different set of regions, as I said earlier, we have the limits of quota which we can utilize. Like it's going to be like a GPU or CPU or TPU or anything. So we need to be like a wise so that we need to put like it should not that too much of our cost should be drained or something like that. We need to like carefully decide what is our exact use case which we're going to do, and then we need to create our VM. So in our case, so we need to request a quota. So it's like a bit long process. So I'm not going to do that again. So instead, I'm going to delete it and I'm going to create it again. So it's like just a default version. I'm just enabling allow HTTPS traffic and create. I hope like you guys are following me. Guys, please put me a message if you guys are on the same page. So now we have created our VM. So this is our basic information. We have a couple of services which we have disabled. So whenever we're going to use this, we need to enable it so that we are not utilizing too much of cost. So now let's do the connect. So now we have connected to a VM, and now we are in the bash place. So this is the place where we have successfully connected to a VM. So guys, let me just please follow the same. Let me know if you guys are connected or not. Guys, please put a message that if you guys are connected or not to the stage. Someone asked me like, can you repeat the steps again? So can you please tell me like which step you are in and like which stage so that I can explain you again? Okay, how to open a SSH in browser? Okay, let me explain again. So click on this SSH. So it will automatically will redirect to a SSH browser. Then you can connect it. So this is how it's get connected. So guys, like, please let me know if you guys on that stage. So in GCP, like, we have like three major cloud storage providers. So one is like our object storage. So next one will be like Cloud SQL, and finally like a no SQL, which is like serverless, and it's a file store. So as I said earlier, like people who have used like Azure, they would have known about like a blob storage. So the cloud storage, which is similar to a blob storage in Google, so where we can like store like entire files, and we can just use a API call to give it to like a Protex CA, where a Jupyter notebook or not, or any other thing, and thereby we can call that information here. So let's get deep into it, each and everything. So like what's a cloud storage? So cloud storage is nothing but like it's object storage provided by GCP, and it allows us to like retrieve any amount of data, and it has like a very heavy secure features, and it is like globally accessible at any different points on GPS locations and everywhere, and it is high durable, and like it has like a very big latency it has. And one more thing, it has like the benefit is like interoperability, so it can integrate with any a number of GCP tools simultaneously, and it has like a multi-regional, and you can choose the different locations based on your data. So in a VM, we saw like based on our VM spec, like GCP, like say like TPUs or GPUs, we need to select different locations. Similarly, we need to choose different locations based on like what type of data we're gonna use. And since it has like different locations, we need to follow on like the geographic security of that regions. Say for example, if you are in falls in the Europe, we need to follow GDPR and everything. If you're in the US, like we need to follow their rules and everything. And basically like it's like a high server encrypted with the access control and policies. So one more thing, like as I said earlier, it has like a highly scalable, and you don't need to worry about like the infrastructure throughput. Say example, like when there's like a sudden demand increases, like automatically Google Cloud Storage will scale up based upon the number of people which are jumping in, who are requesting in the popping in. So we don't need to worry about that. And like based upon the people, the cost is calculated automatically. So when there's like a suddenly high number of people are jumping in, so the Google Cloud will not ask your permission to say like I want to increase it or not. So you're going to define it earlier, like automatic scaling, and automatically increasing the capacity and everything. So based upon that information, your Google billing will be charged. And when there is a suddenly there's like no people coming in, like a very low data read and write operations happening, so at that time the Google billing is get reduced automatically, so that there is no price is fixed every time. Okay, so and it is like a very useful one. So when we gonna utilize when or deploy like high service, everything like that. So next we're going to talk about like a Google SQL. So SQL is like a managed database services which supports Postgres SQL, and it has like a backup features, and automatic patch up and upgrades available. And basically it has like a provides like database administration and like a high availability, and high availability in the sense like uh, if you have like a sudden failure or anything, it will automatically replicate the available content, and it will increase the much more reliable. Say for example, failure in the sense like when there's like automatic, and when we gonna like deploy an instance or something like that, when you face like any challenges, or like if there is some issues, it's gonna fail. And the time which it's getting failed means like that even like minutes or seconds, there'll be gonna like a heavy loss for that applications, and the people time and like people resources will be get wasted. So in order to avoid that, so it is like Google Cloud Storage SQL has the high availability, where it will replicate the instances automatically, and it will improve the reliability of our data, and that the Cloud SQL part. So it has like a very high scalable, as I said earlier, and based on different number of workloads, it will automatically scale up. And it has like popular engines like MySQL and PostgreSQL in it. Now let's get into like a Firestore. So Firestore is a NoSQL database and it's like a document database for GCP, and it is like much more flexible for data modeling, for storing and synchronizing a real-time data and everything. So where we can put into like NoSQL data. So, and one more thing is like this Fire SQL, we can integrate with like a different number of services, and it has like easy scale up and everything. So you don't need to worry about like how to integrate from one services to another services. And GCP has like a click in options which is available where you can integrate easily. And since it is like a Firestore, like it has like auto scaling of read and write operations, and it has like a real time upgrades in the sense like it is instantaneously like synced data altogether on different devices. And say for example, like if you are using a laptop or a mobile phone, the each and every data will be automatically synced. Say for example, if you're flying from like say Dublin to US for everything, your GPS will be automatically like synchronizing based on the specific location, say in a Dublin location, and you will be in a flight, and once you land New York, it will be automatically synchronized to New York location. So that is the lag between the data and everything, and those data will be automatically synchronized, and which we have entirely stored in this file store. Yeah. And because of this, the data should be like a much more like a very good accuracy it should have, and it should have reliable, and it should have that much integrity to manage those data assets and everything. And moreover, it supports like a offline access and synchronization of data to different devices and everything. Yeah. So now we had talked about like a different databases and everything. So now let's talk about like a networking part with GCP. So in networking part, like the main important thing is like a VPC, so which is a virtual private network. And next we're gonna talk about like a load balancing and auto scaling. And next we're gonna talk about like content delivery network, CDN. Yeah. So basically, what is like a VPC? So VPC is like a virtually and a managed cloud network, which is used to control our different network resources. And basically, it takes care of your routing protocols, so IP addresses and firewall rules and encryption standards, which takes care of. And at the time of VM creation, you guys had used a SSH tunnel. So that concept also comes under like a networking part, where it takes care on each and everything, and it does the routing information and everything. So that's the important concepts of like a networking here. And next we're going to talk about like a load balancing. So load balancing, they are like it's basically load balancing algorithms there. So it effectively manages the load of the cloud users in a different regions and different locations, so that there'll be like no loss of information, or like when there's like suddenly collapse in data or everything, the data the sudden pumping of people should not come in, and it automatically manages the data and everything. And basically that's called like a load balancing. So they are like several load balancing algorithms and available in cloud. So weighted algorithms are there. So Google uses like a weighted algorithms, so it manages the people effectively, so that there will be no delay or lag or like any other instances happening. And they have their specific set of like a firewall rules and like encryption standards to follow it on load balancers. And we'll be discussing a bit about in our live session in a couple of minutes. So next important thing we need to look about like a monitoring and monitoring of our GCP. So you guys know like we created a VM and everything. So next important thing is like we need to monitor how good is the our health of our VM, and how are our infrastructures are effectively managed. Is there like any like a pitfalls happening, or like any shortcomings available or not? So that side is taken care by monitoring section, where we'll be like having our troubleshooting issues, where we'll be storing the logs information of each and everything what happened to VM, or anything, any outputs, or any errors which will be stored here. And next important thing is like managing our resources in the GCP. So our GCP has like a several number of products which is available right now, and each and every products has their own set of like defined set of rules and regulations. It has its own firewall, privacies, and encryptions, and we need to manage effectively so that there will be no pitfalls, and we need to monitor them regularly. So managing resources in a GCP is taken care by IAM. So and whenever we need to create a VM cluster or or products a Jupyter notebook, each and everything is monitored based on the cloud IAM resources available. Yeah. So now we will be talking about like our big data and machine learning. So this is our favorite concept, guys, are in AI side. So one of the biggest thing of cloud is cloud with GCP is like a BigQuery. So it's like a serverless data warehouse, and it is used by like millions of people around the world. And even like it uses like a cipher query languages to retrieve the data and everything. And next is like a cloud data flow, which is like a serverless data processing system where you don't need to worry about like infrastructure or anything, and then you can utilize this cloud data flow at any time. And next is like a AI platform which has like a machine learning tools and AI tools. So one of the machine learning tools is we're gonna discuss is about the Protex AI. I said earlier it has like a Jupyter notebook dashboard and everything, and couple more features like text to speech, speech to text, and some more computer vision algorithms which we can utilize there. And let me show you in a couple of minutes. Yeah. So let's talk about the BigQuery one. So basically in a GCP, as I said earlier, BigQuery is like a serverless data warehousing platform, and where it allows to like utilize the massive amount of data sets, and we can load large number of like data volumes there, and we can retrieve that using a SQL manual SQL queries and everything. And that is the basic purpose of the BigQuery here. And the important thing of BigQuery is that it has a like high read processing system in it. It reads the petabytes of data in seconds of time. And as a GCP, we don't need to worry about the infrastructure and everything. And we can, with a direct API call, we can manage each and everything. And it has like a powerful querying languages with SQL syntax. And we can basically integrate this with like our Protex AI and a few more AI platforms as well, and data flow in it. So basically the BigQuery is like one of important thing for GCP, and like used by millions of people, and basically for retrieving informations like, and very large amount of data which is stored. Yeah. So next important thing is like AI platform. So in an AI platform, we know that it has a product AI. And next thing is like it has text to speech and speech to text. You guys, if you have utilized AWS, it has a service called Lex. So which is like our voice recognition and voice conversion platform in AWS. Similarly, Google has its own called like a text to speech synthesis. So we can utilize that with our free credits, and we can utilize our deployment and everything in there. And one more thing, like it has like our notebook dashboard, and which connects with the Jupyter notebook and everything. And that Jupyter notebook can be connected with like our different databases with our with the API integration and everything. And today, like our entire like a machine learning people are using this type of like a Jupyter notebook dashboards called like a Protex AI. If you guys were aware of like Azure, they have like a machine learning studio which is similar to our Protex AI, and where it uses like a Jupyter notebook and everything. And there we'll be like deploying our models, and we'll be integrating it our, and we'll be exposing as a API for a production and everything. So we're going to discuss about the data flow. So as I said earlier, data flow is like a serverless data processing service in GCP, and it allows us to build and execute the data pipelines for batch and stream processing. So basically, like a large number of data can be utilized here. And if there is like something like a difference between those different batch sizes and everything we can use in this way. And one more thing is like the data flow can be integrated with a BigQuery and other cloud storages, and it utilizes like a different programming languages for this pipeline. Basically it uses like a Python as well for bash and everything, and a couple more like Java and PHP also it can be used. And as I said earlier, like we don't need to worry about infrastructure with the GCP. Based upon our workload demands, it automatically scales up and down, and that's one of the advantages of GCP at all. So let's jump into our live session. So now let's get the products overview. Let's go to like our cloud storage. In cloud storage, we'll be creating our new bucket here. That's naming. Yep. So please let me know that you guys are in this page. So now we have just created a name of the bucket. Our storage class. So next is will be our region, which region we're gonna select. So let's choose our European region. And now we need to select the storage class of our data. So basically, like if you want to manage everything automatically or like a specific storage class, we need to plan this. So we need to select which is our best storage plan for us. So let me go with like a standard. Yeah, let me go with a standard one. So next is like our access control. As I said earlier, like the entire access is taken care of like IAM here. So we have given like a uniform access for it. Next is our data encryption. So we'll be managing with our Google managed encryption, and we will not be selecting a customer managed encryption. So it's like this customer manages like our self-managed one. So we're not going to do that. So we'll be going with our Google managed encryption key itself, and then we're going to create it. We need to get authorized and So basically, like here, what we need to do, like we need to authorize our bucket name here. So it should be like a valid domain name and everything. So in our case, like we don't have a valid domain name, so we are not gonna register like this. So I'm just gonna show you how it's gonna be registered. So if you have like a valid domain name and everything, then that's the place where you can register that, and you can create a storage. If you use like a misuse or something like that, so it won't allow us to continue further. So I just did use the same example there. So it is asking us to like register with a valid domain name. So we're not going to do that step here. So this is the basic step, and everything. So next we'll be going with like our Protect AI. So let's go to notebook. So now we're gonna follow the same procedure which we use for like a VM, so that based on our region, we're gonna use our what type of environment we're gonna use and what type of machine we're gonna use. So here we're gonna use the West region, and our operating system is like is Ubuntu, and we want a TensorFlow, like we'll go with like a PyTorch version, and then we'll go on with like a type of machine which we need. Let's go with like a standard machine with like a 30 GB RAM and GPU with a Tesla P100. Number of GPUs, like let's put it like one GPU right now. So what is like a disk size now? So I want to use like a SSD disk here, and the size should be like a 200 in GB. And next we're gonna use our networks here. So we are not gonna modify anything because of this network, and we're gonna use our existing IP address, and please don't change this IP address or anything. That's the place where we're gonna be like connecting it. So we'll be allowing a Jupyter Notebook real-time collaboration. And regarding the security, we have like a terminal access, file download, root access, and NB converters also there. NB convert is like, it's nothing but exporting our downloading a notebook in a different file types. Guys, let me know that if you guys in the same page, just put me a yes or a no. Okay, let me wait for a couple more minutes, like a couple of people are yet to come to this place. Let me give a small overview about this. So we're going to go to all products. We're going to look for vertex here. We're going to go for notebooks. And we're going to create a new instance. Notebook name, put the exact regions and everything. Please select the operating system. It's up to you to select like a Ubuntu or like Debian version. And please select which type of like environment you need, like a Python or like a Python or like a Python 3, whichever is that. And please select a machine type. It's going to be like a CPU or a GPU enabled one. If you can select a type of GPUs. So basically Tesla P100 is a very good one. And if you want like a further more optimized, like you can look for like T4 or a V100 one. And next one, you can just create it. Guys, like let me know. A person was asking me if he is done or not. Okay, well, so I got a response now. Let's create this. I haven't selected it. So it takes me like $973 per month, and basically like it's $1.33 per hour. So guys, like whenever utilizing this, use it very properly. So like since I'm in a free tier, I'm not eligible to create like a TPU accelerators or anything like that. So let me do like a downgrade of my machine. Very good. So I'm choosing SSD of like a 200 GB, creating it. So now we have connected our Jupyter instance. Our machine like a standard machine. Guys, please let me know if you guys are in this stage. think there was an error. Oh, sorry guys, like there was a bit error here. So there was an error with our the location which we selected. So let's go with Las Vegas. Hopefully this location should be our appropriate one. So let's wait a couple more minutes. So it started. It's like let's move to the next part. So please navigate back to your cloud platform. And before that, guys, please open your collab. Just open a browser, collab. So now what we're gonna do is like we're gonna connect a VM to a collab. So basically like in our Google Colab, we have an option to connect like a couple of things. Say for example, so one is like hosted runtime, and next is our virtual machine, and third is our local runtime. So local runtime in the sense like what is that means like our if you guys are running a Jupyter notebook in your computer, and you can just copy that and paste that localhost link, and you can paste it here, and you can just run that over here. So that's one thing. And now what we're gonna do is like we're gonna connect it to a VM. So this is the basic instructions here. So let's navigate back to Google Cloud. So now we need to look for like marketplace. Please type marketplace there. Once you go to marketplace, so let's look for collab. Guys, let me know if you guys are in this page. So looks like most of them are in this page. So let's navigate further. Let's navigate further. So this is the page where again we need to create our VM instances, and this VM instances is directly connected to our collab. So and this entire deployment is in a marketplace, which is a part of GCP, where it's different from the products and everything. Yeah. So one more thing, like you need to look about the quotas and everything here. So let's look a place where we are not utilizing too much quotas. So good that like I have choose the Asia Northeast. So if you guys want to choose, you can choose that. So this location has no GPUs, so I'm deleting it and I'm increasing my memory. So the build amount is like 500 euros per month. And disk storage is like SSD, and we can increase this up to it's basically our wish. Maybe like 100 also, it's enough. Okay. Let's go with 400 one. So please accept that. And it's going to be like an existing account and deploy. Let's wait for VM to create. Until then, guys, please be in the same page. Let me know if you face anything. So next we will connect with our collab. Yep. So you guys, once you on this page, please click option called connect to VM. Once you click automatically, it goes to your like a default, like a Gmail account. And Once you click on the connect, you can see that it's automatically connected to your marketplace VM, and our region is Asia Northeast and everything. So this is the important crucial stuff. And you can also do like a auto copy link here, and you can run it in a different your Google accounts and everything. So let's connect it. So now we are connected with our VM. So guys, please let me know if you are in this page. Guys, please let me know. Like I have received only a response from like a couple of people, and just waiting from a couple more as well. Guys, and one more thing is like whenever if you're not using the VM, please make sure that you switch off this, or just delete the instances if you don't really need that. Okay. So in my case, like I might be using it for a couple of research purposes. So please guys, so it's very important thing. So a couple of students are like interns gonna use their VM, which is connected to the collab. So make sure that you follow this process and stop or delete your VM. Guys, kindly let me know if you are in this stage. So most of the people have said me like yes. So that means like it's a good sign that like you guys are in this page. So next important thing, like let me show you like a couple more like of products which we are using in GCP. So let's go to dashboard. So if you look at here, so you can see like a different types of tools and applications which we are available. So people who use like the graph DB, or everyone can use the Neo4j Aurora here. And people who wants to use like a data store, SQL, Firestore can utilize here. And this is our like a CI/CD pipeline, and as well as like for ML ops and everything. So in our next videos, like a series, so we're gonna implement like a complete machine learning algorithm, and the end-to-end pipeline, right from like data we are collection, and we're gonna do the EDA process and everything. And next, how the data is transferred into from with the API to machine learning modeling. And in machine learning model, we'll be discussing about two types of one. One is our custom machine learning model, and next one will be like a no code auto ML model. And then we're gonna take the like best model, maybe like if you guys are using a PyTorch version, it's gonna be like a best PT version, or like a ML means like you're gonna use like the pickled file, and then you're gonna expose the pickled file or a model as an endpoint as a REST API. So in the next series, we will be explaining about this in detail, completely in detail. And let me show you a couple more AI features here. So this is like a speech synthesis here. So which is used to convert like speech to text. And similarly, we have a reverse conversion also is there. And here you use like language detections here. This will be like translation models which we can utilize. And with this, you can also utilize the APIs of like Google Maps and everything. And you can host it in your own environment. So basically, like the artificial intelligence with GCP has like awesome features, and I feel like a very good to like start with this. And please let me know if you have like any more questions for the session. Yep. So one student has asked me like, will there be any limitations when we integrate with another tools like Jenkins to push the code from one instance to another instance? I faced the same issue when I was working with AWS instance. So basically, like, of course, we will be like if facing some issues when we do not properly integrate it, and that's why like we have our functions here, Google functions, which take care of the integration parts and everything. And an important thing like such as tunneling one. So if we are not doing a proper tunneling, then we will be facing that connectivity issues and everything. So that's a very crucial thing to do. Guys, any more questions? Guys, please let me know if you face like any other doubts, like a creation of VM and like database creations, or like collab integration with VM. Please let me know. guys. So let me understand, like, please, please put me a response so that, like, let's go to next stage. I think it's the final stage now. So we even crossed extra half an hour. So please let me know, and we can wrap up the session. Okay, guys, like, so I haven't got like any response from you. I understand, like, that means, like, you guys are in the exact stage right now. So if you guys face like any trouble or anything, please put me a message in Slack or like or LinkedIn, whichever which is medium is comfortable for you. So let me help you with the steps and everything. So guys, like, maybe in a couple of other sessions, I'll be explaining you a complete end-to-end with ML deployment, as well as like ML ops pipeline I'll be discussing. So where we'll be like retraining our model, and we'll be exposing the same to the endpoint and everything. So thank you very much for taking part in this session, and have a wonderful weekend. And thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.